It's easy to focus on the top starting pitchers on your staff when they take the mound. But the other 2 days of the 5-day rotation could be just as important. They may not deliver 20-win seasons and Cy Young awards, but they can deliver outings that can get you wins that lead to a successful season.
Talk about a gorgeous Florida afternoon for baseball. Well, we have it, and those fans are settling in to enjoy it. The Yankees are over from Tampa. They have some news, which we'll talk about in just a little bit, as day baseball gets underway here at Bright House Field. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Chris Wheeler. Sarge and Murph are just around the corner. We'll talk with them a little later on. All right, the Yankees come to town today to take on the Phillies and Kyle Kendrick, who's excited about the chance to pitch in a home game here at Bright House Fields.
Yeah, and Kyle Kendrick is a nice spring for him, Tom, because there's no uncertainty involved the way it had been in other years. He never knew whether he was going to be in the bullpen, whether he was going to be a starter, whether he was going to be a long man. It is determined that he is in the starting rotation, the number 4 starter. His season turned around last year when he went to this changeup sinker mix and got away from so many cutters. This is an excellent game. He pitches against the Marlins in Miami. See the changeup even there to a right-handed batter. Kyle's always been very good at fielding his position, outstanding athlete. One of the things that's really turned things around for him in the last year or so is his ability to get left-handed hitters out, too. There's another changeup that he threw to a right-handed hitter, and Rich Stubbe talking to him. But you look at his numbers right here, and you see how he has improved first 4 years and what he's done the last couple years. His one-loss record, okay, but that earned run average, the opponent's batting average, and in my opinion, a lot of that is because he is getting left-handed hitters out now, and the changeup is a great pitch for him for left-handed hitters.
And he says that his changeup has actually been pretty good so far this spring. The cutter is the one pitch you'll see a lot today, he said, particularly early in the ball game. Well, at some point, we'll go to the bullpen today for the Phillies, and there's certain guys that are pretty much set in stone, but there's still a battle going on for a couple of spots.
It's always fun to have battles going on in spring training. Even though it's getting a little bit late, they want to get this thing straightened out, and there are some spots open in the bullpen, as Tom said. Felipe Alomar is really an interesting guy because he's a power arm. The other day, he walked a couple hitters with fastballs, and then he started throwing these breaking balls. He also has a pretty good changeup. It's a split. That was a sinking fastball that he threw there to finally get the last out. But he did show the ability the other day to adapt when he was struggling with his fastball and to be able to go to something else. Some of the guys that are out there in the competition that Tom mentioned, Aaron Cook, he's a guy who could be a long relief guy if he is in the bullpen. If he doesn't make the club goes to AAA, he gives you insurance down there. You see these other 3 guys, Michael Stutz, don't know right now because he's coming off that surgery, and whether or not he'll be ready to go, they're still trying to find out. The other guys, Horace Valdez, they're very, very intriguing because they've done a pretty good job down here. Valdez is a guy that always jumps out at you the way he gets hitters out.
Yeah, and the fact that Valdez could be used as a situational left-hander, he could be used for 1 inning, or quite possibly he could be used as the Phillies' long man. So again, it's the Phillies and the Yankees. Jimmy Rollins is back, and he is in the starting lineup. Derek Jeter has been a scratch from the lineup for the New York Yankees. The first pitch coming up after this.
Well, back here at Bright House Field as the Phils get set to take on the New York Yankees. The place is packed once again, which should be the norm for the rest of spring training. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup for this afternoon's ball game. It's a little different than what Joe Girardi anticipated when he arrived at Bright House Field because Derek Jeter was a late scratch. Leading it off at center field, Brett Gardner. Gil Velasquez plays shortstop today for Jeter. He'll bat second. Ichiro hits third, followed by Kevin Youkilis and Travis Hafner. Brendan Bosch over from the Tigers is in right field. He'll bat sixth. In the bottom third of Stewart, Mustillier and Corbin Joseph for the Yankees. And they'll face right-hander Kyle Kendrick. Kyle, so far this spring, in 3 starts, has an ERA of 9, but his last start was on the backfields in a minor league game, and he pitched very well. He said today between 80 and 85 pitches, he thinks, Wheels.
You catch a day when the wind's blowing out, you can have an ERA that is astronomical for spring training, and that's what happens with a lot of pitchers. He's done fine. He is what he is. You know, Kyle's not going to, a beautiful afternoon here to see by the temperature. He's not going to strike a lot of hitters out necessarily. He's a contact guy.
Well, the first pitch of the ball game is hit out to center. Jermaine Mitchell floats under it, so Brett Gardner's retired on 1 pitch here at the top of the first. That'll bring Gil Velasquez to the plate. We mentioned that Derek Jeter was a late scratch. Derek is here, or was here, and did participate in batting practice, was in the original starting lineup. He's coming back off the broken ankle, which he sustained in October of last year. And they are terming his ankle right now as cranky. And they said there was going to be some post-op soreness as he continued to play a little bit more. So he felt a little stiffness during batting practice when he was taking ground balls. So they decided to scratch him for today's ball game, and no timetable for his return.
And not like he has far to go home. He lives in Tampa.
That's true.
So if he's going to work out anymore today or whatever, he can go over there and go right back to work. Right back home.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Velasquez. Well, this has been a mash unit for the Yankees so far this spring. So when everybody heard that today, I think there was a little heart palpitation.
Think of the guys that aren't here, that can't play right now.
Well, we know that Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley are playing for the Phillies, and Utley's able to track down that little bloop into shallow center field.
Yeah, good pitch by Kyle Kendrick there to jam him. And Joe Girardi right there. And you talk about mixing and matching. They have Brendan Bosch in the lineup today. He was with the Tigers last year. They're just trying to find some people to play when Teixeira's out. A-Rod gone. They don't know if he'll even be back. You're dealing with Cano being still at the World Baseball Classic. At least he's going to play. Now Jeter, one of those things. But the injuries that they've had to big-time players.
0-1 the count to Ichiro, and Ichiro pops it up behind the plate. Steven LaRue off with the mask, ready to settle under it. That was an easy first inning for Kyle Kendrick. Yankees go down 1-2-3, middle of the first. It's the Yankees nothing, and the Phillies coming up for the first time. Get ready for Jimmy Rollins. Well, back here at Bright House Field, Charlie Manuel got a stopwatch all ready to go. His offense is getting set to face the Yankees for the first time today. Let's take a look at his starting lineup for today's ball game. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. He's back from the World Baseball Classic. Michael Young bats second, followed by Chase Utley and Ryan Howard. Dominic Brown's hot spring continued yesterday. He'll bat fifth today. Lance Nix is in right field batting sixth. Mitchell to start in center. He'll hit seventh. Stephen LaRue does the catching, and Kyle Kendrick is going to get a chance to bat this afternoon, and they'll face right-hander Adam Warren, who is on the mound for the Yankees. Warren so far this spring in 4 games, 0-1, with an earned run average of 11.5.
Well, it looks like he's been hit around a little bit. You see 11. It's just so hard when you don't watch the spring training games where guys pitch. Only 1 home run, but it has really been windy this spring. Not that it isn't in Florida normally, but this spring seems to be even windier than usual. And you get into some games and you can really get hit hard.
Well, Adam Warren will face Jimmy Rollins, his first game back since the World Baseball Classic, where he hit .321. Jimmy did play yesterday in a minor league game as he takes a strike. It's 0-1. He was 0 for 1 in that minor league game. It's nice to have him back. He's at the top of the order. Just 10 at-bats this spring, but as we mentioned, hit over 300 for Team USA.
And he's right back in that leadoff spot, which is no surprise.
Yeah, I wondered today if Ben Revere was going to play, where Charlie would put Jimmy, where he would put Ben Revere. Well, Revere is not playing to start this game. Jermaine Mitchell's out in center field. 1-2 the count to Rollins. And he flares that one to left field. That'll drop in front of Suzuki. And a leadoff single for J-Roll.
It's a real nice 2-strike approach right there. Put the ball in play. Pitches away. You pull that ball. You play Pepper with a second baseman. Good job by Jimmy. He swung the bat really well in the World Baseball Classic, too. There is just a fastball out over the plate and away from him. Tried to sink it looked like, did Adam Warren. The ball stayed up. We didn't even mention Granderson, too, with all the guys. Right? I didn't mention Granderson of all the guys they're missing.
Michael Young takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Got to add him into that mix if another guy's going to be out for a number of games early in the season.
Michael Young hitting .278 this spring. He's been a little cool lately. Hit the ball hard yesterday against the Atlanta Braves. Fly ball, shallow left field. Rollins tags but doesn't move, and there's one out here in the first.
And the wind is left to left and left center because it's warm here today, but it's not blowing straight out where the flags are stiff as we had so many games. It's more of a gentle type breeze.
Hasn't been in the 80s in quite a while down here in Florida, so it's supposed to get up into the mid-80s this afternoon.
It's really nice today.
With a runner at first and one man down, Chase Utley is the hitter. Utley 8 for 40 so far this spring with 6 runs and 8 runs batted in.
It's in that bat right there from Michael Young. You really think he's going to try and hit a ball in the hole maybe with Jimmy Rollins at first and then pinching up the middle for a double play. And he can hit the ball the other way. But I guess he saw something he really liked and went into pull mode.
Utley takes a strike, 0-1 the count. Adam Warren, just to give you a little snapshot of who he is. He's a 4th-round selection by the Yankees in 2009 out of the University of North Carolina. He was originally drafted by the Indians before he went to North Carolina. Last year spent most of the season in AAA. Utley a little out in front, and the count is 0-2. In Scranton, where they played the entire year on the road, he was 7-8 with an ERA of 3.71. And he wound up making 1 start in the big leagues last year for the Yankees. And he lasted just 2 1/3. He allowed 6 runs and 8 base hits. Utley again hits one foul to the right side.
He's throwing sliders or cutters that are coming in on Chase Utley, and Utley committing to them, and you can't keep it fair, and you might do what he's just doing, hit wicked fouls on that kind of pitch.
If you're Utley, are you expecting the same kind of pitch here?
Yeah, you almost have to protect there, but they might go change up away if he has one.
Looks like they might be doing that the way the catcher's set up. He fouls it back.
You throw that many pitches inside, and you have a hitter thinking that way. You brought that up, Tom. A lot of times they'll go away then because the guy's so aware of the pitch inside.
No balls, 2 strikes the count.
Plus, they know Utley is in hook mode right here with that hole on the right side and only 1 out, trying to get Rollins a third.
I'm surprised Rollins hasn't thought about stealing second base. He's got a short lead off first. In the dirt. By the way, the World Baseball Classic, we talked about Jimmy coming back from that with Team USA. It's down to the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico for all the marbles. Phillies have 1 representative left, and that's Juan Samuel, their coach,
right,
who is with the Dominican Republic.
Wally Joyner's coaching over at first base today. Sal Rendy's been out there a lot.
Topper up the first base side, and Utley tries to avoid it and does. And it rolls foul. It remains 1-2. Puerto Rico defeated Japan, the defending champions, 3-1. Dominican Republic, they were down 1-0 in yesterday's ball game. They wound up winning that one 4-1 over the Netherlands.
Their nemesis, the Netherlands.
I think they've been their nemesis probably since Little League. But the Netherlands eliminated the Dominican Republic in the last World Baseball Classic.
Right, they owed them. Well, we saw that Dominican Republic team here, and you knew you had a feeling they could score a little bit.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count, Utley. Yeah, they haven't scored the way they scored here.
No, you wouldn't expect that. 28 hits. They score enough to win, though. And they got Rodney at the end. The Rays have to be going, won't this thing ever end so we can get our closer back and he's not working in all this pressure? That could take something out of you.
Swing and a miss and a breaking pitch. First strikeout for Ward. And there are 2 outs for Ryan Howard.
Pretty good one. Tried this inside a few times on him. This one's, well, it's a back foot slider is what it is. And that's one of the best pitches a right-handed pitcher can throw to a left-handed hitter because they're either going to swing and miss at it, or if they hit it, it's going to be foul.
With 2 outs and a runner at first, Ryan Howard, who was 18 for 56 this spring. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Speaking of at-bats, I heard Charlie Manuel talking to Dominic Brown about his at-bats today. You know, they're at certain numbers. You know, Dominic has almost, he has 60 official at-bats, but he has more plate appearances. You know, so they're monitoring that just to make sure everybody has X amount of plate appearances before the regular season. Howard rolls that one to shallow right, and it's picked over at first by Youkilis. So the Phillies get a leadoff single by Jimmy Rollins. They do not score. We've played 1. On to the second we go. The Yankees nothing and the Phillies nothing. Phillies will open up their home schedule against the Kansas City Royals Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 5th through the 7th. And on Saturday, it's Turkey Hill Kids opening night. The Jimmy Rollins replica Gold Glove Trophy for fans 14 and under. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com for the Phils and the Kansas City Royals.
This guy doesn't look right coming up in this uniform, does he?
Doesn't look right coming up in this uniform or without his goatee.
Or the number. Everything about it.
Like a totally different person.
Now, if you're a Yankees fan, is it tough to root for him?
Well, I think it's tough to root for him, particularly when he said at the beginning of spring training that he'll always be a Red Sox.
Right. There, now it looks like him.
First pitch to Kevin Youkilis is taken low. It's 1-0.
That is really different. I remember when the Phillies, everybody didn't like Pete Rose, but then when he became a Phillies, yeah, he's ours. That away. But I just wonder, that rivalry is so intense. To the Yankees, are they going to say, oh, well, we don't mind Kevin Youkilis?
No, but
here.
In reality, the first day of spring training, when he did say that he'll always be a Red Sox, that did not sit well with the Yankees fans.
I wouldn't think so.
2-0 pitch to Youkilis. Fly ball, shallow center field. Mitchell started back. Now he comes running in. He's got such good speed that he's able to overcompensate. Now with one away, Travis Hafner coming up. Well, we talked about Jeter being scratched today. Greg Murphy has an update on one of the Phillies guys who left the game early the other day.
Yeah, and it's an update, guys, that everybody wants to know about. So Roy Halladay spoke to reporters earlier this afternoon here in Clearwater and kind of, let everybody know where he's at right now. He said he lost 10 pounds over the last 2 days dealing with this stomach virus that he has had, which was unfortunate because coming into his start on Sunday, he said he felt really good coming out of the bullpen. But we really did not get a good look at him, obviously, on St. Patrick's Day. But he said he will pitch next Saturday in his next start, guys.
Yeah, in fact, he's hoping to throw a bullpen sometime in the next couple of days. And this was Roy the other day. See, wearing that green jersey on St. Patrick's Day, he kind of bent over, and that's where you knew, you got a sense that something was going on.
Right.
And he threw one inning. I think it was 27 pitches, and his afternoon was done. So he's hoping to throw a bullpen, Murph, the next couple of days. And he still feels like he'll be in line to be ready for the start of the regular season. I think that's a big deal, that he feels comfortable enough that he'll be ready for the opening series against the Braves. 2-1 the count to Travis Hafner. In fact, today, Doc and the rest of the pitchers, they did another PFP drill. It was bunt defense, coming off the mound, fielding the bunt, throwing out of the first or third or even a second, and he fully participated in all of that. Another fly ball. This one off the third base bag. This is going to be a tough play. Michael Young in foul territory, sides it up, and he made the catch. Well, now 2 outs.
Yeah, long run for that. That's why that play was tough. And then you factor in the sun and the wind on a day like this. Nice job, though, by Michael Young to use his glove and to take it off to the side. You have to do both of those things on a ball like that and get a proper angle. You look straight up into the sun, forget about it.
Brendan Bosch hooks one down the right field line. That's a foul ball.
Ryan Howard helped with the call, then. That was
very nice of him. Well, Eric Cooper's the first base umpire. If you recall the other day when the Phillies were here at Bright House Field, Eric was hit with a pitch behind home plate on his left wrist. I saw him after the game. We were both at the same restaurant, and I said, how's your arm feeling? He said, not good. I said, did it hurt? He said, it hurt. But he basically got hit with a ball that deflected off a catcher.
Yeah, wasn't a foul tip.
Nope.
It made some slap. You could sure hear it when you're this close.
0-1 the count to Bosch. Brendan Bosch, the last time the Phillies saw him, which was about a week ago, he was playing for the Detroit Tigers. The Yankees had been rumored to be interested in him. They had talked about a trade, but then the Tigers released him. And he became a...
I was watching the monitor, and all of a sudden I saw the ball. Sorry.
Wheels, the ball was about 15 feet above our head.
But it wasn't when you look from the monitor up, and all of a sudden there it was. I was trying to see what the pitch was. Sorry. That's embarrassing. But it's better to be safe than sorry. And, if I'd have seen it come off the bat, it would have been fine. Whew. Man.
In all honesty, if you hadn't reacted with any noise, nobody would have known.
Well, exactly. That's my point. I'm sorry. I apologize.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Bosch. Ernie Harwell used to bring a glove to Detroit, to Tiger Stadium.
Had to. That's where they were.
There's a good changeup. Kendrick is ready for the ground ball back to the box. He has faced 6. He's retired all 6 to start his outing. Speaking of starting his outing, Dominic Brown will lead it off for the Phillies when we return for the bottom of the second. Sunday night warm-up for the Phils season with an exclusive interview with Phils ace Cole Hamels. Don't miss Cole's interview on Phillies Focus, Sunday night at 10:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Bottom of the second inning here at Bright House Field. It is a packed house for this afternoon's game between the Yankees and the Philadelphia Phillies. Dominic Brown, what a spring he has had. In fact, you're going to be hard-pressed to find anybody around baseball, whether it be in Arizona or here in Florida, that's having a better spring than Dominic Brown.
At a time when he desperately needed to have one, too. The timing couldn't be better.
Hitting .400 with 5 home runs, 11 runs batted in. He hit his 5th home run yesterday against the Braves. And he takes outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, he's just so much more aggressive right now. His hands are a little bit lower, and that was one thing they really tried to work on him. But he hits a lot of balls out front. He did that too. He rolled that one over, but he's hitting the ball out in front, and when you do that, you have a chance to drive it somewhere as opposed to where it gets too deep on you. Now, some hitters, the ball can get deep on them, and they're good hitters. This isn't Dominic Brown. That's rare, really.
Wally Joyner has been really working hard with Dominic Brown. Charlie Manuel today was doing some things with him, but it's been Wally Joyner, who's over in the first base coach's box this afternoon, that has kind of taken Dominic Brown under his wing this entire spring. And, you know, they've worked with his hands. They've worked with where his bat starts.
Yeah, well, the quicker you can get the bat through the zone like that, the more of a chance you have to drive the baseball. Now, sometimes you get it through quickly like that, and you get fooled, and you roll one over. But 9 times out of 10, well, not 9 times out of 10, there's a hit down the line.
Well, Lance Nix shoots one inside the bag down the left field line. It was misplayed by Ichiro. And it's going to wind up being a double for Lance Nix.
But if you can get the bat head out quickly in the strike zone, you're going to have a chance to really drive the ball, and that's what he's been doing.
If you don't know about Wally Joyner's career, I know baseball fans do, but this is a guy who played 16 years in the major leagues, a lifetime .289 hitter during his career. He hit 300 3 different times, make that 4 different times during his career, and he finished with over 2,000 hits.
And it's not the worst thing in the world, too. You see Dominic there, that he's a left-handed hitter working with another left-handed hitter, because those guys are different.
Well, speaking of a left-handed hitter, Jermaine Mitchell's now the batter. Mitchell making the start in center field. First start that Jermaine has made this spring. Most of his time has come in the latter portion of games. 7 for 17 so far. Off the hands, a slow roller, but he can run, so you got to hurry the throw. And they just get him over at first. Two outs. Here's Stephen LaRue getting a chance to catch this afternoon. LaRue batting eighth. Kyle Kendricks on deck. So he's trying to get that run home from third. One ball and one strike the count. Phillies have a handful of catchers still in camp, including Quintero, Stephen LaRue, Eric Kratz. Of course, Carlos Ruiz is here too. As they try to narrow their roster for the start of the season on the 1st of April against the Atlanta Braves. LaRue last year played a few games for the Phillies, hit 200. Wheels, the gentleman who was the vendor downstairs, just reacted the way you did to that foul ball, but that was coming right at him.
Thinking the same thing. But he had a reason to do it.
Yeah, he was right at the screen.
Yeah. You know, you see, well, the screen's in front of you. Huh. You sit down there. And
everybody reacts the same way.
You bet.
In the dirt, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's right down that same area where Jimmy Rollins' wife is sitting, and Kyle Kendricks with their little kids. And they make sure they sit behind that screen.
There's one of the vendors we're talking about. Outside, it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Carrying his precious cargo on a warm afternoon here.
I think around Major League Baseball and the Grapefruit League, there are a number of teams that do sell out. Not the way they do here at Bright House Field. So from a vendor standpoint, you stay on your toes.
Nice place to work.
And LaRue lifts it to right field. Brennan Bosch out toward the track. He's a few steps shy of it. And he makes the catch. The Phillies leave one over at third here in the second. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. 2 in the books here in Clearwater. We'll be back for the top of the third right after this. Monday, April 8th at 7:05, the Phillies begin a 3-game series against the New York Mets. On Tuesday, the 9th, don't forget it's a Hatfield Dollar Dog Nights, the first of 2 during the month of April. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. I hope you're enjoying Phillies baseball on this warm spring training day. The berm is packed out there this afternoon, as it normally has been, at least the last few weeks, and usually at this point in the year. It's a very difficult ticket to get, is to come out and watch the Phils play. And when you have a team that has similar popularity in the New York Yankees, we'll smile. That guy's taking a photo.
Yeah.
Similar popularity as the Yankees. It's even harder to get a ticket to come see the ball.
Christmas in March there with that guy.
That's right. The old school Eagles hat. Flyers were in town last night. Played the Tampa Bay Lightning. Jim Jackson's here because of that. We go to the top of the third. Kyle Kendrick has retired the first 6 batters he's faced, and he'll face Chris Stewart to lead it off. Stewart is battling to be one of the catchers for the New York Yankees this year, hitting .231 in the spring with a home run. Yankees had Russell Martin the last couple of years, but Martin signed a 2-year deal with the Pirates, and it kind of left a void for them.
Well, not long ago, wasn't it, that the Yankees thought they were loaded at catcher?
Well, they had Montero, of course, who they traded off to Seattle, among others. Cervelli's still there. He's in the mix. Down and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. They also have Bobby Wilson, who's here today, who they got from the Angels, who was their backup catcher for the last couple of years, also did some starting for the LA Angels. They don't expect a whole lot of offense from their catcher. Michael Young got to that ball, but he threw it over the head of Ryan Howard. And Chase Utley won't have a play at second. I think that's the first error from Michael Young that we've seen on a throw like that since the first week of spring training.
Yeah, the ball took a high hop. See, he's got it lined up. There you go, having some movement now. Right there he reaches. Now he wasn't even sure he caught it, and I think that got his timing off a little bit. As a result, he took an extra step, and now he throws it high. Ryan Howard's trying to shift to the back of the bag, but even as tall as Ryan Howard is, he can't get to this one.
Well, they have scored an E5, so it's the first base runner for the Yankees. And that'll bring Mustelier to the plate for New York with a runner at second.
Young played a lot of shortstop throughout his career, too, so one thing you know, he has an arm. And he showed it there.
Kyle Kendrick will make the play, apply the tag. Sacrifice is successful. And 1 away with a runner at third. And they'll bring Corbin Joseph to the plate. They'll play the infield back here in the top of the third. See that bunt play you just saw, Wheels? That's what they were working on today before the game. Now, Kyle wasn't because he was getting ready for the start, but he got off the mound very quickly to make that play.
A very good athlete. Kyle Kendrick fields his position very well, which is always good for a sinker ball pitcher.
Corbin Joseph last year in the minor leagues hit .276 with 15 home runs and 62 runs batted in. Hitting .200 this spring. He's 6 for 30. Good sinker, just missed, 1-1.
He'd love to get a strikeout right now and see if he goes with something off speed to get it. Little backdoor cutter is what he threw there. Just trying to freeze him and maybe get it on the outside corner and get that strikeout. Use the element of surprise.
Yeah, he said the cutter was the pitch he was really going to try to work on today early. He and I were talking before the game about just the approach for this afternoon. Got it on the hands, a line drive right back to the box, and they're going to double up Chris Stewart. Well, we said before, he's a heck of an athlete, and he needed to be a heck of an athlete with great reactions to make sure he made this play. That ball was smoked right back to the box. He not only saved his body, but he also saved the inning. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further. And by Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Philadelphia Phillies. Bottom of the third. Phillies with a couple of hits. The Yankees do not have a base hit. Kyle Kendrick will lead it off for the Phillies here in the third. Kendrick getting a chance to bat for the first time this spring. Last year, he hit 139. Overall, he's a 135 hitter. Wheels, like every pitcher who's a good athlete and can hit, Kyle Kendrick is looking for that first home run.
Right. Kyle can swing the bat a little bit. You watch him in BP in those games they play during the season, and he hits his home runs. He can really hit a golf ball. Of course, that thing's on a tee and sitting still. It's a little different than this.
Hits it well, though.
Oh, he does.
Outside, 1-2. He's tinkered with his stance over the last year or so. He's raised his hands. He's lowered his hands. Still trying to find that comfort zone. See, they're up now.
But like most pitchers, he's going to hit everything to the opposite field.
I'm going to tell you, that was a pretty good effort by the ball girl down the right field line.
Tried. A little bit of an error involved there, but good try. Effort. That's right. We got, get the glove on the ground. He's really following the ball well, isn't he, Kyle?
Well, he's had to today.
His heart's still pounding from that liner, maybe. Oh, we got something to speed his bat up that time. A little breaking ball, a little hanger. But for the most part, pitchers are going to hit the ball the opposite field, and it's not because they're trying to. It's called lack of bat speed. That's why they're pitchers.
Just one of those things.
One of those things.
Phillies do have a couple pitchers that have good bat speed, though, and Cliff Lee and Cole Hamels.
They're legit. He may be able to pull a ball here.
Fouls another one back. It remains 3-2.
Good at bat.
Trying to get some pain.
For the guy Charlie calls a blonde-headed kid. I love it when he says that.
Jimmy Rollins was just commenting on it. He was saying KK something.
Yeah.
There you go. Line drive base hit to left field.
Oh, he really had a good at bat there. And you could see that he had a chance to pull a ball because he had a full count. He could cheat a little bit.
That was the 9th pitch of the at bat for Kyle Kendrick.
He got it down and in too, and that helps when you want to pull. He's pretty happy. Look at him. He'd laugh and see Wally Joyner. See Wally, I can watch this thing come down and in, drop the head on it. Looked like a hitter. It's a good swing. You want to watch it the whole way, too. Here it is again. Now he looks over at the Yankees bench. Somebody must have said something to him over there because he was laughing going down the line.
Jimmy Rollins went around on that first pitch, according to Phil Cuzzy, the home plate umpire.
Now, Kendrick's a guy who can first to third, too. He's a good enough athlete. Jimmy Rollins thinking about trying to pull a ball in the hole there to get him over.
Youkilis is not holding Kendrick on over at first.
That'd make it even easier for him to get to third. Yep, that's a pull swing. Whoops. Got that move down.
She's really trying, though. I mean, she's really trying.
Giving it a shot, but just not getting the glove low enough.
That was a tough carom, though.
Not easy out there. You got to learn to play those caroms.
Second strikeout of the day for Adam Warren.
See him trying to hold up there at the last second. Couldn't do it.
Well, now one away, and Michael Young will be the hitter. Young flied out to left his first time up.
You got off-speed stuff early in the count, then a high fastball there.
Ball drops in for a strike. 1-1 the count. That ball's out toward right center field. Brennan Bosch is over and makes the catch. Yeah, that'll be the second out of the inning. So back to first goes Kyle Kendrick. Well, so far today, it's not the same offensive day that the Phillies witnessed yesterday, not only from themselves, but also from the Atlanta Braves.
Well, you can see that game. Part of the reason could be what the Flags are doing right now, too. Now, pitching's obviously better, but when you get a day like this, when you don't have the wind blowing out a ton, you have a chance to have more of a baseball game than a Little League game. And there you go right there. See, the Flags right now, when's the last time we saw them look like that?
They are quiet right now. Yesterday, the wind wasn't whipping as much as you would think by the score in Orlando. But it was, kicked up a little bit.
Yeah, it'll affect games.
Here's Utley, who takes strike one. It's 0-1.
Blowing hard over here yesterday.
Yesterday's game, it was the fourth inning. It was 12-9.
Yeah.
Braves are on top.
Sound like Coors Field.
Yeah, Dominic Brown at homer. Darren Ruff had a couple of doubles. Justin Upton had 2 home runs for the Braves. Freddie Freeman homered for the Braves.
What is the Magic Kingdom, right? Where they were.
Wishes come true. Wheels, if you want offense, just throw a wish out there.
And Goofy's there too, right?
Goofy is there, and Goofy can find himself in a lot of different places. A base hit for Utley. Up to second goes Kendrick. There'll be runners on first and second. Now for Ryan Howard.
Playing him up the middle, and Chase just fought off that ball on his hands. Now, Ryan Sandberg has a pitcher who can run at second base, but third base coaches really are careful about running guys into contact if they can avoid it. Pitchers into contact. By that I mean if it looks like you can't score them, they really don't want them getting in a collision with a catcher unless it's automatic.
The advantage right now, obviously 2 outs, but also they're really deep for Ryan Howard, except for in left field.
Yeah, you have a heck of a chance to score him right now.
Ichiro has the best arm of the 3. And Ryan Howard's ahead, 1 ball and no strikes.
And the shift they have on now is not 3 on the right side. The shortstop is just near second base behind it. You see where Velasquez is playing.
Howard lifts it to center field. Brett Gardner had him played perfectly. He moves back a couple steps. And the Phillies leave a couple here in the third. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. Kyle Kendrick, after his first hit of the spring, will go back to work for his 4th inning when we come back. Get suited up for spring training at the official online shop of the Phillies with the largest selection of authentic spring training gear, including clubhouse caps and T-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. Get set for spring at the official source, thephillies.com shop. Well, we go to the 4th inning. Scoreless game. Kyle Kendrick has pitched very well so far for the Phillies. A little more conservative look for you today, Sarge, than what we saw the other day.
Well, the other day was St. Patty's Day.
It was.
And today's just a regular day where you picked out the shirts and try and pick out shirts where I can't match the hat, but I got him this time.
I think you're pretty good with the hat and the shirt.
Thank you.
I want you to know that I received a number of emails about the other day asking about if I knew how your corned beef and cabbage went dinner that night. I didn't get to go over. I
got to tell you, it was a little bit late, but it was absolutely unbelievable. Look at those glasses, will you?
Outstanding. Well, which ones? The ones on the left or the ones on the right?
They're both looking good.
They are both looking good.
Oh, boy.
Well, it's nice to see you have a good couple of days.
Had a great couple of days, and it's even warmer today, and looking for a good ball game.
Yeah, I know it's cold back home, a little rainy, and the weather hasn't been great back home, but this is as close to a Florida day that we've had here at spring training. Kyle Kendrick goes back to work here in the 4th. Brett Gardner leads it off and takes a pitch inside.
How about that line drive? Kyle Kendrick battling up there at the plate. Just goes to show you good technique will get you a hit, or at least you're able to actually have good technique for one.
Kendrick off the mound, bare hands, and flips, and it goes under the glove of Ryan Howard. Gardner runs well. Utley got to it quickly, but it's very difficult to throw him out at second. I would think they're going to score that a base hit and an error to allow him to go to second.
Sounds like a pretty good call. That speed always puts pressure on the opposition. Take a look at this. Now, he's got to bare hand that. Throw was just off. Anytime you're throwing from the side, don't know exactly where it's going. A lot of times it's better just to go in and eat it with a fast runner. Other than that, he'll end up on second where Gardner is right now.
Well, they put an error up on the board, and there's a base hit, too. So it is a hit and an error. Philly's second error of the game. See what the Yankees do here with Velasquez up and a runner at second base. Well, they decided to have Velasquez try to shoot it the other way. But it's no balls and 1 strike.
Inside ball, trying to hit the ball to right. Keith Moreland used to be great at that. Ball inside, he could inside the ball out on the ground. when you have that team effort going from everybody trying to get runners in a better scoring position where you don't have to always need a hit to get them in.
Line drive on one hop. What a play by Rollins. That was a tough pick, particularly with Gardner kind of in his eyesight the whole time. Yeah, there's one away here in the fourth.
I tell you, don't know how he actually caught that. He's as good as anybody there at shortstop, especially that ball that would be somewhere right at him. Take a look. This is a line shot. See how his vision gets impeded there as he makes that one hop throw nice and easy.
Oh, with one away, Ichiro Suzuki, who popped up to LaRude his first time up. There's the cutter from Kendrick. We mentioned before that was a pitch he really wanted to work on today, even though the pitchers are getting themselves ready for their first starts of the regular season. There's still certain things they want to work on. And since the cutter is probably his fourth pitch, Kendrick's fourth pitch, because he has the sinker, the changeup, the slider, and the cutter. He still has some refining and some tinkering to do with it before the start of the season. Out toward left center field. That's going to split the gap. It's going to go to the wall. So the Yankees are going to wind up taking the lead. It'll be an RBI double for Suzuki. As Gardner scores easily from second, it's a 1-0 ball game.
Oh, this guy just can hit. Kind of slowed down a little bit the last year or so. I think being with the Yankees here for the full year will rejuvenate his engine. He's always been a guy that would slap that ball or drive the ball the other way, especially down and away, stays on the ball. Just a classic swing. See how he's actually even going that way? There's that wide turn, however, for that double, and he knows it's automatic when it's hit into right center or left center.
Kevin Youkilis is flat out to center his first time up. Youkilis did not have a particularly good start to the spring. Ball guard on the right field line is aggressive toward every baseball hit toward her, and the one on the left field line didn't even get up.
Not only that, she just waved it off like, hey, not my job.
She goes, oh, is I supposed to go get it?
Yeah. Didn't get the memo this morning. She thought it was going to be a suntan day.
The poor girl down the right field line has missed two, but she's gone after both.
I'm giving her A for effort. Let me just tell you that. Doesn't always matter about the results. Kevin's got to have mixed emotions being in the American League East. Going to play against Boston just with the rivalry, the way heated rivalry, you would say, against Boston and the Yankees. Now going back as a Yankee all the way.
He's going to wind up playing a little bit of first base like he is today. They signed him to play third base for Alex Rodriguez until Rodriguez comes back. But then when Mark Teixeira went down, they decided to put him over at first base a little bit more, too. 2-2 the count to him. And a swing and a miss. First strikeout of the day for Kyle Kendrick.
Okay, it looks like Cal a lot better. Might be that number 4 starter, but again, his confidence there in throwing his pitches. To me, that's one of his best pitches. That changeup that he throws there, without a doubt, I mean, can get the hitters off balance, as you saw then. You know, that cutter, that's a ball that, I mean, you make sure it's in, or other than that, it's going to be going out most of the time. But that changeup can be the difference in him being able to have a good year or bad year.
Yeah, Kyle is the established number 4 starter for the Phillies. You figure it's going to be Hamels, Halladay, Lee, because they want to split up the left-handers. Then Kyle. Now that, of course, John Lannon is right now penciled in as the number 5 starter. as we get ready for the start of the season. I think Charlie likes what he sees from the blonde-headed kid. 0-1 the count to Travis Hafner. 0-2.
Whatever reason, when the Yankees get a player, they seem to even get in better shape. Now Travis Hafner used to be a little heavier than what he is, but I tell you, the better shape you in, the easier it is to hit. And especially balls that would be thrown on the inside half, because you can clear your hips a lot quicker when you're in better shape.
Outside 1-2. Part of it could be, for Hafner, the last few years, because of injuries, have not gone as well as the previous few years. Last season, he had 12 home runs for the Indians, had 34 runs batted in.
That's not a real good year, and I tell you, this guy obviously can have a lot better year than that. You can see career-wise, 201 home runs, so you know he does have the power.
Inside and low, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Playing in Yankee Stadium should benefit him. He is a pull hitter. Short porch at Yankee Stadium. They've always loved left-handed hitters, and especially left-handed power hitters.
Swing and a miss. Pretty good changeup right there from Kyle Kendrick to retire Hafner after getting Euclid on the same pitch. Yankees do score a run. On to the bottom of the 4th we go. We'll get another look at Dominic Brown. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank, where good banking is good citizenship. Isn't it time you experience good banking? Pretty quiet out on the plaza. That's the main entranceway out here to Bright House Field. It's usually pretty packed before the start of the ball game and even afterward as folks are heading on home. The crowd has filed to the concourse area here at Bright House Field as Dominic Brown will lead it off. It'll be Dominic Brown, Lance Dix, Jermaine Mitchell due up against Adam Warren for the Yankees. Dominic grounded out to second base his only time up, so he's 0 for 1.
He's had himself one heck of a spring training here, just about all the offensive categories. The one that you really like, leading the Grapefruit League, actually in hits, coming in today's game at 21.
I was mentioned before, Sarge. I don't know if you agree with this or not. I don't know if there's a guy who's had a better overall spring.
Oh gosh,
than Dominic Brown.
Altogether, there, run scored, 18 there. I mean, it's just looks like he is coming around. And this is some of the things you like to see. I mean, and he's hitting down in the lineup to have that kind of production. Just makes your team that much better. You can see the confidence in this kid daily, especially after he got off to such a good start.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Well, around Major League Baseball, we have these different notes that says who's hot, who's not. Juan Francisco for the Braves, he's pretty hot over the last 4 or 5 games. But Dominic Brown is right there in the mix, just as the ball girl was right in the mix of that play down the left field line. She, I don't think, really knows where what's going on out on the diamond. She needed to pick that chair up and get on out of the way.
Yeah.
Somebody could have gotten hurt.
That's what they, I'm sure they always tell the young ladies that are on the line. Now, right there, she's undecided where she wants to go. What does she do? She ducks. And that's what you better do as she covers her head. But I would think that before the game started, they tell you when it's a flying ball, take your chair and get on out of here. She's not going to do this again. I can tell you this right now, okay?
Dominic Brown lifts it to deep right field. Going out on his botch to the warning track to the wall. Gone!
Wow.
Home run number 6 this spring for Dominic Brown, and he's tied this ball game up at 1.
Well, that's going to help out his total bases. He was actually leading in that as well as he drives this ball out of the ballpark. Let me tell you, boy, you want to make a team? You hit that ball out of the ballpark, Charlie Manuel, the manager, you just about have it sewed up. He likes guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. That ball there, the confidence we talked about earlier, and he knew the ball was out when he hit that ball. Oh, boy. It'd be nice to get used to that.
Home run number 6, RBI number 12, runs scored number 21. Lance Nix lifts one to shallow center field, and that will drop for a base hit. Nix is 2 for 2.
The next to another one of those guys, good hitter. His problem is just keeping him in the lineup.
Yeah, I think he's had, just from watching him, I know his average coming in was 211, but there have been a couple other games where we've watched him play, whether it be exhibition games or the game against the Dominican Republic. I personally think Lance has had himself a good spring. I really have.
And you know what? I don't go on average with him in a lot of production. Going on whether or not he's healthy, whether or not he's swinging the bat, it's going through the zone, and that's what it's doing.
Ball trickles out towards second base. Mitchell's retired. Up to second goes Nix. And that'll bring LaRue to the plate with a runner in scoring position. Pretty good play by Chris Stewart behind the plate.
Sure was. Did exactly what he should do, and that is move your feet, keep the ball in front of you. Usually when you do that, the runner won't go. Saw that ball spun back there. It was a breaking ball, hit the ground, went back the other way, blocked it with his chest. Or chest protector, I should say.
Down the left field line, and that drops for a base hit, and then it skips past Ichiro. It allows Nix to score easily from second. LaRue pulls into second. It's a 2-1 Phillies lead. Phillies offense coming to life here in this 4th inning.
Tell you what, there's a difference in playing center field, right field, and also left field. Ichiro known as a very good fielder. And this ball here with some slice on it just takes it right away from him. Kind of almost misjudged that a little bit. Should have been maybe a little bit deeper, but that's a tough play for anybody that's out there in left field.
All right, let's see what Kendrick does here with a runner at second. He's not squaring. He takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Yeah, I like him hitting for me in this situation. I mean, you're already up by 1 run. He's got a single his first time up, so see if he can do it again.
A little high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 man down here at the bottom of the 4th. The Phillies have taken a 2-1 lead. Jabba Chamberlain is throwing the pen for the Yankees. He's a topper over towards second base. Joseph charges. And is able to throw out Kendrick. Runner goes to third. Jimmy Rollins will give Kyle Kendrick a chance to get back to the dugout before he wanders to the plate.
Now, these are the situations that, again, Charlie Manuel, the manager, likes J-Ro in, and this is why he's able to drive in 60, 70 runs plus from the leadoff spot. He's been able to come up with some 2-out base hits, driving in a tough run from third base or second base at times with 2 outs.
Yeah, I know people wonder, what Charlie's going to do with the leadoff spot, whether it's going to be Rollins or Revere. I still think it's going to be Jimmy Rollins, even though Revere's look good while Jimmy's away.
Yeah.
There are options if Jimmy doesn't lead off, but I still think he's going to be the leadoff hitter.
Well, I tell you, Ben Revere looks awful good.
He does.
And one of the reasons, for me, and having him lead off, it's just that at this time in Ben's career, he wants to run. Just the opposite for Jimmy Rollins. Doesn't want to run as much.
Well, I also think that, with his 23 home runs last year, Rollins' has 23 home runs, the 33 doubles, the 5 triples, all those things. If you don't lead him off, he can be an asset in a very important part of the lineup somewhere else. It's not as if he's out of options that won't benefit the team. You agree with that? He can bat second, he can bat third, he can bat fifth.
You're
he can
right.
bat sixth.
One of the few guys that he could actually hit behind a Ryan Howard and hold his own. He could hit third. We've seen him do that in the lineup.
There's ball 4. He's aboard with a 2-out walk. And Joe Girardi's coming out. That may be it. He does signal to the bullpen. So we're going to have a pitching change here at Bright House Field. So Adam Warren goes 3+ innings today, 3 2/3. And so far has allowed 2 runs. And Joe Girardi's decided to make a pitching change here at the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll be back and let you know about Jabba Chamberlain, the new pitcher for the Yankees, right after this. Two to one, Phillies on top, bottom of the 4th inning, 2 men down. The Yankees go to their bullpen for right-hander Jabba Chamberlain, who will take over for Adam Warren. Chamberlain so far this spring, 6 games, an ERA of 4.50. He has 4 strikeouts in those 6 innings of work. He's coming back off a number of different injuries these last couple years. Did get a chance to pitch in 22 games at the end of last year. And it did wind up on the postseason roster for the Yankees, where he performed nicely in a very short period of time. They feel like if right, and if he's throwing strikes, he could be a nice addition to a bullpen that already has David Robertson at the end leading to Mariano Rivera. But to have this kind of arm once again in the back of their bullpen could prove to be fruitful for the Yankees.
Well, they've always this guy as a pitcher, liked his arm, even though he does or has had some injuries. For whatever reason, they've stuck right with him. He's been a starter at times, and again, one of those kind of pitchers that he can pitch just about almost anywhere, from maybe almost setting up, long relief. And obviously, when you come from starting, there's a variety of different things you can do.
I think he likes the music that's being played here at the ballpark. He's jamming to the beat of it.
Yeah.
Michael Young's the batter with the runners over at first and third. Young is 0 for 2. He's fly to left. He's fly to right. When healthy, and Jabba Chamberlain has had Tommy John surgery. When healthy, he does throw in the mid-90s. And he has a very good slider to go along with it. There's that breaking pitch, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah. Michael Young off balance on that. Hitters got to have good balance to be a consistent hitter. Obviously, on this level, every now and then, they're able to swing with the one hand and get a hit. There's that good old-fashioned fastball.
Rollins off first, LaRue off third.
This should be one of those kind of predictable pitches, especially Chase Utley coming behind him. See whether or not that Michael Young will get his fastball as opposed to the breaking pitch. Ooh. Uncle Charlie.
And a grounder foul. It remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rollins had started on that pitch with 2 men down, so he'll go back to first.
Well, he got his fastball there just a little bit late, probably looking off speed since he got 3-1. Usually pitchers feeling that kind of confidence would come back with that same pitch. He came back with the fastball. That's what you call pitching different, or pitching backwards, I should say, in that American League.
Runner goes from first, and a called strike 3. Came back with the fastball. And Young goes down looking to finish off this 4th inning. Phillies do get a couple of runs. It all began with Dominic Brown, his 6th home run of the spring. In fact, I think we've said that often this year. It all begins offensively with Dominic Brown. 2-1 Phillies as we go to the 5th here in Clearwater. Top of the 5th inning, Phillies lead it 2-1. Kyle Kendrick will go back to work, and he'll do so against Brendan Bosch, Chris Stewart to start things off for the Yankees. Brendan Bosch grounded out to Kendrick his first time up. First of 2 lightning quick plays that Kendrick has had this afternoon. To the right side, easy play for Chase Utley. And with one man down, Chris Stewart's due up. Let's check in with Murph. Murph, what's going on around Major League Baseball today?
All right, T-Mac. Well, it's that time of the spring when you start talking about injuries around Major League Baseball. So we have that today in our news and notes. And first off, it's the Dodgers finally getting some good news for their starting rotation. Zach Greinke will make a start on Wednesday. He, of course, has missed more than a week with that sore elbow. The news not as good for the Mets starter Johan Santana. The team announcing he will not be ready for opening day. He is still battling that sore shoulder. And the Padres third baseman Chase Headley, he has a broken thumb, but initial reports were that he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. But good news for the San Diego Padres and for Chase Headley. Now they're saying he'll miss only about 2 weeks' time, so maybe back as early as the first week of the season. So good news for them, guys.
Wow, a miracle of modern science. He's going to be back after 2 weeks after breaking a thumb.
I don't know about that one.
Well, it's just the tip of his thumb, and that's kind of what makes it a little bit different. Because the initial reports, broken finger, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But after seeing a hand specialist yesterday, he said, nope, about 2 weeks for you. So, like I said, good news for them.
Murph, I want to put you on the spot. I want you to tell everybody about when you delivered that news today. We were in the office. There were about 3 or 4 of us in there about the reaction that you received when you delivered that news.
Well, I simply said that, wow, how about that? Chase Headley broke his thumb. And all of you whipped your heads around and thinking I said Chase Utley, which I did not say. So, folks at home, it's
but
Chase.
Did you say?
I said Chase Headley broke his thumb. Thankfully, not Chase.
All right, well, you were a rally starter in the last inning. In this inning, you are a quick inning guy. Because,
that's what I do, Tom.
Yep, Kyle Kendrick just worked a perfect 1, 2, 3, 5th inning, all while Murph was keeping us up to date on what's going on around Major League Baseball. Bottom of the 5th is where we go. The Phils up 1. Phillies on top 2-1. They tied the game with a home run by Dominic Brown and then took the lead on a base hit by Stephen LaRue. So middle of the 5th inning. We'll see Chase Utley to lead things off. Earlier today, there's Scott Sheridan, the Phillies athletic trainer, watching Delman Young go through his running out in the outfield. That's a big deal because Delman has been progressing nicely with his running over the last several days. I mean, he still has a little bit of a limp, but it's more toward the end of those runs than anything else.
And then talking with him earlier today and talking about his running, he feels that it is coming and coming sooner, I should say, simply because he's in better shape. When you take a look at him around in his stomach area, he has been really losing weight. When you're taking weight off of your legs, it's going to make it that much better. But he wants to be 100% or close to it, he said, when he comes back. Doesn't want to come back and come back at 80, 85%. You're expecting him to hit and he's not doing it. When he's healthy, he'll come back. Hopefully, he'll be able to help the club as a power hitter on that right side.
Yeah, so just to lay it out for everybody, because I know he hasn't played in games yet, but he's doing that. That's a big step.
Yeah.
He's running inside, too, but he's also been taking batting practice with the regulars on an everyday basis over the last 7 days or so.
Toughening up his hands, also getting his legs ready. And you know what? It'll be up to him when he comes back on how he feels and whether or not, again, though, with Sheridan, a lot of the different trainers looking at him, you want to make sure he's 100%. Even though they're taking pictures, the guy's got to be 100% to perform like you want him to.
Chase Utley leads it off here in the 5th inning. Chase is 1 for 2. He singled his last time up after striking out in the first, facing Boone Logan. And it's 0-1. Sarge, you and I watch a lot of batting practice, and we've watched Delman Young as a hitter and as a former hitting coach. What do you think when you see him hitting in the cage?
I think he's going to have a fun time hitting at Citizens Bank. He's got a little bit of a lift, and I think he got that because of the stadium that he played in Detroit, where you had to kind of lift that up a little bit. I reminded him here at this stadium, line drives will get out of this particular stadium. He hits with no fear. So as a hitting coach, you really like that, meaning he stays right in there under any circumstances, and he knows and believes that he can hit.
Utley just reaches out and pokes it into right field, a base hit.
There's that one-handed swing I was talking about earlier. Sometimes you're off balance, and just because you are a good athlete, he did wait back on that, one-handed it as it was a line drive. Take a look at it. Look at the eyes and concentration. Have a one hand as he just flipped that right into right field. Balancing not as bad. Did get fooled on it, however, but made up for it with a line drive.
Already the 8th base hit for the Phillies. They lead it 2-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Ryan Howard's 0 for 2. Boy, he just missed that one. It still may carry far enough. Nope, it's going to stay in the yard. He just missed hitting that ball as far as you can hit a baseball.
That's a great call on that. You're right. I mean, he was right on that. Just off of it, just a little bit. Whatever pitch it was, he guessed right on it. Take a look at it. See for yourself. See, now that's right there in the position. Maybe off the end of the bat, just a little bit. Other than that, ballpark will not keep that ball.
Now with one away, Dominic Brown, who homered his first time, or his last time up, is at the plate. Utley's over at first.
Well, 4th inning there. Bang! As he hits the ball out of the ballpark. Feeling pretty comfortable against those right-handed guys that throw him against him. The test becomes, when you're playing every day, whether or not he can handle these type of pitches. And your younger players, you would hope that they're going to be able to do that so you don't have to get in a platooning situation. But the way that he has been swinging it, he's been proving so far that he's able to handle both sides. Whoop.
Swing and a miss. He's rung up for the second out. And that'll bring Lance Nix to the plate. Group tickets are now available by checking out Phillies.com. The groups are 25 or more. You receive special discounts and group recognition. Many options for groups to take advantage of at the ballpark, including private suites and pregame party areas. Again, go to Phillies.com for all details on group tickets. We did not have Boone Logan on the roster to pitch today, but this is a nice situation for him because the Phillies have thrown 4 lefties in a row up, and Jermaine Mitchell's another lefty who's on deck.
Much different swing that Nix has against a right-handed pitcher as opposed to the left-handed pitcher. Don't know what it is, if they just don't see them as much, meaning the left-handed pitcher, or more comfortable when he's facing a right-hander. Well, one of the guys on the team that can hit good pitching and usually gives you a sound at bat at the plate.
Swing and a miss, and Logan gets back-to-back strikeouts. Phillies got the leadoff single by Chase Utley. They do not score. However, they have a 2-1 lead as we go to the 6th inning here in Clearwater. Don't miss out on any Phillies news, alerts, or inside information. Sign up today for the csnphilly.com Phillies newsletter. Hey, you want to catch some sun? You can go to the beach here in Clearwater, or you can go out to the berm at Bright House Field. It is a warm, sunshiny afternoon. It's the kind of day that you really have to layer on the sunblock. Try to stay cool as much as possible. Spring break is in the air. There's a lot of college students who have made their way to Clearwater Beach. For some of the high school kids and some of the middle school and elementary kids, their spring break isn't until later on. Yeah. So they'll miss out on spring training. But for the college kids, it's well, the youngsters are all over the place, Sarge, down at Clearwater Beach. Pirates are in town on the back fields. Phillies minor leaguers are playing some games. Carpenter Complex is right next to, or right behind, Bright House Field here in Clearwater. As we start the 6th inning, the first pitch to Corbin Joseph is hit out to left field, and Dominic Brown tracks it down.
Excellent jump on that particular ball. Pretty good route, too. See the confidence in him. That ball hit, he was off and running. And he slows down to catch that ball there. That ball there, pretty easy play, however, though. Talked about the left-hander hitting it. The ball's going to come back to you as he makes a fine running catch.
Darren Ruff was out in the left field yesterday up in Orlando when the Phillies took on the Braves, and he had the unfortunate instance to go back on a ball, catch it, but then bobble it over the fence.
Yeah, I've never had that happen. I've seen Canseco where it actually hit on the top of his head. And my first career, well, from Rico Carty, the ball hit off his glove for a homer. But you still count those, though. You don't give the guy an error when it goes over the fence.
Brett Gardner is 1 for 2. He scored a run his last time. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you're talking with Darren Ruff, and he also talks about it being a little bit easier out there in the outfield. I talked with him today about that.
Would you talk to him about that?
One of the things, like Mays used to tell us, you have to anticipate that ball coming to you every single at batter. Kind of know exactly what you want to do with the ball, where you want to throw the ball. And if you're doing that, it's going to make it easier for you. Therefore, you're not surprised.
Swing and a miss. Kyle Kendrick picks up another strikeout, his third of the day.
Boy, he's been on his job today. Around the plate, getting ground balls, and even some of the balls that are line drives have not been hit on the barrel. Take a look at the movement on this pitch. Here's that changeup again. Boy, he's fallen in love with that one. Good pitch.
Well, 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Gil Velasquez is coming up. You see the pitches by inning for Kyle Kendrick. Velasquez swings at the first pitch and hits it toward the Yankee dugout. It's 0-1.
Doing a good job in keeping the ball out of the middle of the plate. That's when he seems to get hurt, or just about any pitcher, though, for that matter. Almost looks like he's gripping that ball in a split or fork ball type of position as he throws that ball.
Fly ball out to shallow left center field. Mitchell and Brown are there, and it's Jermaine Mitchell who takes care of it. Kyle Kendrick, 6 innings, 1 run. He's retired 8 consecutive hitters. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Phillies lead it by 1 over the Yankees. Brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. I don't know, Sarge, that water's looking pretty good now, isn't it?
Yeah. I like it when it's calm. You don't see a lot of the white caps. Just beautiful beaches, though, all around. Clearwater, St. Pete. No wind there. Look at the palm trees, and don't understand it. No people.
Maybe they had something else going on that day.
Okay.
We start the bottom of the 6th inning. Sean Kelly will take over for the Yankees. Kelly picks up for Boone Logan. Logan pitched a scoreless inning. He allowed 1 hit. So now Jermaine Mitchell, Stephen LaRue, Kyle Kendrick due up for the Phillies. Phillies do have bullpen action. Kyle's day may be done. It's not because he hasn't pitched well enough. It's just that they need to get other guys in, like Mike Adams, who's throwing in the pen right now for the Phillies.
Well, Kyle looked awful good here today.
Swing and a miss by Mitchell. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice.
A lot of confidence in his pitches, especially that changeup. Boy, it just had so much movement as it was tumbling out of the strike zone.
Yeah, I know he said he wanted to work on his cutter a little bit more today. I don't know if he needed to. I think he was in position where he didn't really need to work on the cutter.
That's a real good point, because that changeup was really working, and I'm sure he would say he didn't get a chance to work on the cutter as much. But keep in mind, that cutter, if you're throwing that ball and it's getting a good part of the plate, that is just not a real good pitch. It's a good pitch in terms of the ball getting in on that hitter's hands and breaking some bats. Did a great job today.
Here's Steven LaRude. LaRude has an RBI double. That gave the Phillies a 2-1 lead. Back of the fourth. Darren Ruff's come out of the on-deck circle for the Phillies, so Kendrick's day looks like it is done. There's Darren.
Yep.
Two balls and one strike the count. Sean Kelly last year, in fact the last handful of years, played for the Seattle Mariners. Last season he pitched in 47 games for the Mariners, was 2-4 with an ERA of 3.25. Yankees acquired him in a trade for Abraham Almonte just 2 or 3 days before spring training. At the knees, and it's 2-2.
Well, he appears to throw the ball pretty hard. That one was down in the zone. I'm going to tell you, though, anytime a pitcher's keeping the ball down, I mean, even if it's hit, it always seems to be less damage as opposed to the ball belt high.
That pitch is up high, ball 4, so LaRude's aboard. And here comes Darren Ruff to pinch hit for Kyle Kendrick. Saturday, April 6th, when the Phillies take on the Kansas City Royals at Citizens Bank Park. It's Kids Opening Night, brought to you by Turkey Hill. For fans 14 and under, you get that great gold glove, the replica of Jimmy Rollins gold glove. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com.
That's a pretty nice little keepsake.
Darren Ruff takes high, 1-0 the count. You and I were talking today about Darren Ruff while he was in the cage, and he was having a pretty good session. As you see Josh Spence throwing in the bullpen for the Yankees. And you were talking about how proud you are of Darren, the way he's handled this spring training.
Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, he's hitting better now. The way that Dominic is hitting the ball, I mean, obviously, if it's coming down to both those two guys, Dominic has won that job.
Ground ball over to first. LaRude will go up to second, and Ruff is retired.
But trust me on this one, you will be seeing and hearing a lot about this guy. You don't hit that many home runs there in Double-A, and then going to Venezuela having 10, 11 home runs. It's just a matter of time, and once he gets to the position where he can relax a little bit more, it's a pretty tough thing, though, when you're trying to win a job and trying to, you got to have hits in order for that to happen, and then it not happening, and then you're missing balls in the outfield. Doesn't make you sleep good at night. But I think he's going to hit well enough where he'll have an okay career in the major leagues.
2 outs. Rollins is 1 for 2 today. He walked his last time up. Getting his 4th at bat of the afternoon. Jimmy was a little fooled on that pitch. Right through the 5-hole. Over to third goes LaRude. It should be a wild pitch charge to Sean Kelly.
Now this ball here, you got to really get down on that. You can see he didn't get down low enough. You can tell, though, this guy throws the ball pretty hard. That'll make him get it down to your level. Put a good swing on it. He's supplying a lot of the power.
And that's high ball 4. Rollins walks for the second time. Second walk issued by Kelly in this inning. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, is going to come out to the mound. They do have Spence warming up in the bullpen. I don't think this is going to be a pitching change. I think this is, just to give Sean Kelly a moment to kind of gather his command. Joe Girardi. Reminder that we are accepting applications for the 2013 Callis Award. Go to PhilliesBroadcasters.org to check out the application. If you're a rising junior or senior, or even a graduate student in a Philadelphia area school, and your point of interest is broadcasting, whether it be on air or behind the scenes, you're eligible for a $1,500 scholarship. Scholarship deadline is April 30th of this year. We'll get those scholarship applications together, and we'll go over them as a group, try to decide who the winner is of the 2013 Callis Award.
I'll tell you, though, there's been some pretty difficult candidates in the past. Some of those on the write-ins have been just awesome.
Well, each of us are involved in the process. Of course, Sarge, Wheels, Larry Anderson, Scott Fransky, Jim Jackson, Greg Murphy. We've given out 3 scholarships so far, and number 4 will be given out sometime in May, just in time for folks to settle in for the fall semester. 2-0 the count to Michael Young. And Young lines one to center field. That'll drop for a base hit. RBI single. LaRute scores easily. 3-1 Phillies on top. And that's going to be it for Sean Kelly. Michael Young 0 for 3 before that at bat. Went upstairs to line that one into center field.
He actually Tommy-hawked that ball there, getting on top of it. Don't know if it was his fastball or a high breaking pitch. Been throwing a high sliders. Take a look at it. Look at that bat angle. He almost just leaves it right up there. It's a solid line drive.
So a pitching change for the Yankees here in the 6th inning. The Phillies have a run across and a 2-run lead. A gorgeous afternoon for baseball here in Clearwater, Florida. The Phillies enjoying a 3-1 lead. They have a couple of base runners with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now the Yankees go to their bullpen to bring in a lefty specialist because the Phillies have some lefties due up, including Chase Utley, who will get a chance to bat against left-hander Josh Spence, a 25-year-old from down under. He's from Australia, Sarge. And so far in 7 games, 4 strikeouts, 5 2/3.
Doesn't get any better than that.
He is out of Arizona State University, where the Padres selected him in the 9th round in 2010. Yankees selected him off waivers from the Padres. Last year he was 0-1 with an ERA of 4.5 for the Padres in 11 games. So while he's up at the plate, he's 2 for 3.
Usually those kind of guys that don't throw very hard have an excellent breaking ball to be able to get left-handers out. And usually if they're specialty pitchers, they're only pitching against mostly left-handers, especially during the season. There's that breaking ball. Like Utley on this, because usually he doesn't budge whether or not it's a left-hander or right-handed pitcher. Seen him take hits before.
He stayed in, and that breaking pitch is outside. It's 2-1.
So far, he's come in and thrown nothing but off-speed pitches. That means maybe he'll try and do that again, especially with left-handed Ryan Howard hitting behind him. It doesn't appear like this guy likes to give in to you very much. There's Ryan.
Well, he pulls it to the right side. Youkilis is able to get to it. Spence is there to cover. 3-1 on the putout. The Phillies do add another run. We go to the 7th inning. It's time to go to the bullpen. It looks like it's going to be Mike Adams, or it might be Chris Wheeler coming into the game for the Phils.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's Kyle Kendrick, has a very good delivery. Good changeup right there. He really had a tremendous game today. Fielded his position well, threw the one bunt away, but that was a pretty tough play. But here he is fielding his position. Sinker ball pitchers really need to be able to do that because they get a lot of balls hit back at him. There's a little line drive. He turned into a double play with a runner at third and only one out. And that was a long at bat he had. You could see he had a chance. Finally got that ball down, and then on a 3-2 count, he smoked it. Used his changeup, though, really, really well today. Mixed in cutters and sinkers. And overall, a very, very effective outing for Kyle Kendrick through 6 innings, and he has to be very, very happy with what he was able to do. Here's our game summary. You see the Phils are up by a score of 3-1. Dominic Brown with another home run today, his 6th of the year. Kyle, that's his line, with no walks and 3 strikeouts. Ichiro's knocked in the only run for the Yankees. Adam Warren, their starter, charged with a couple of unearned runs.
Yeah, Kyle Kendrick's going to continue to throw in the bullpen for the Phillies because he wanted to get it above 80 pitches for the day. Darren Ruff is in the game for the Phillies after pinch hitting. Pete Orr takes over at second base for Chase Utley. Freddie Galvis is in at shortstop for Jimmy Rollins. And Mike Adams in the ball game for the Phillies, facing Ichiro as we start the 7th. Adams' first pitch is outside. Over at third base, Kevin Franzen takes over for Michael Young. Ichiro is 1 for 2. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Mike Adams came into spring training in great shape, not only physically but also with his arm. 4 innings so far, 3 strikeouts, 2 hits allowed. Rich Doobie told us before spring training began, before games began, that Adams was farther along than they ever imagined he would be.
Yeah.
Which was a big bright spot as camp began.
Sure, after that surgery that he had, they weren't sure whether they could get a full spring workout out of him and then be able to use him on a regular basis, and they've been able to do all that. And Rich Doobie very happy about that, along with everybody else, because this guy can get people out.
2-1 the count to Ichiro. He was late, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He throws cutter, slider, and a sinker, and he's a strike thrower. There's Kyle Kendrick. He will not be coming back into the game, as Tom said. He's just out there figuring out and throwing up pitches today, so I'm going to get a little more work.
Yeah, 85 is where I think he anticipated he would be today. I asked him, I said, would 85 be difficult? He said, no. He goes, last outing, I felt like I could have thrown 85.
What did he throw?
He finished with 60 pitches. I believe.
That's how effective he was today, that he got him out so early. He had them swinging early in the count, getting quick outs. In that first inning, when he threw 7 pitches.
3-2 the count to Ichiro. And he hits it foul over toward the third base coach's box.
There's probably nobody in Major League Baseball still can hit the ball out of the catcher's glove the way this guy can just there. He is the ultimate emergency swing. And he'll not only put an emergency swing on it, he'll put it in play with one of those swings. Most of the time they just try to foul it off. That little pigeon-toed stance that he has. It's very unique. You would never teach anything this guy does.
He bloops that one back at third, and Franzen makes the catch.
That's what Adams can do, Tom, when he's on. He can really take the sting out of the bat. He hit him right on the end of the bat with the ball going down and away.
Well, 1 gone here in the 7th. Kevin Youkilis is the hitter.
Ichiro's up there, as I mentioned, just protecting. Oh, that was a slider, actually. That came towards him. I thought it was away from him. And he just tried to fight it off at the end and wound up popping it up.
Kevin Youkilis is flied out to center. He's also struck out. Youkilis is a lifetime .283 hitter. The last couple of years haven't been up to the same level as they were, let's say, 5 or 6 years ago. He's a 3-time All-Star. He finished 3rd in the MVP balloting a few years ago when he was with the Red Sox. His situation with Boston kind of epitomized the struggles the Red Sox had under Bobby Valentine last year. On the outside corner, 2-1. Wound up going on to the White Sox last season. Well, he won the Gold Glove back in 2007 and the Hank Aaron Award in 2008. He hits one right up the chute. Ryan Howard in foul territory. 2 down here in the 7th inning.
One thing I always remember about Mike Adams when you'd see him, and it seemed like he was always on. Obviously he's not, but he misses the barrel of the bat consistently. And when you can do that as a pitcher, you really have a chance to be successful. And the reason he misses is because his pitches move all over the place.
I think it was a couple of years ago when the Padres were thinking about trading Adams and Heath Bell. There was a chance, at least it seemed, that the Phillies were going to be in on getting him, from San Diego in the middle of the year. Instead, he wound up going to Texas. That was back in 2011. And he gets the first pitch strike by Travis Hafner. It's 0-1.
Well, they're getting a very, very experienced late inning pitcher, and they are so important in today's game. And cut inside. That's such an effective pitch to a left-handed hitter. They hate that. Talk to any left-handed hitter, and the one thing they don't want from a right-hander is something boring in on their hands. They'll take it down below their hands, but in on their hands, no. Don't like it.
Well, a slice out of play. And it remains no balls and 2 strikes to Travis Hafner.
Yeah, he didn't like that pitch he just threw there. It's probably a fastball that caught a little bit too much of the plate with 2 strikes. You can just see the way he slapped at the ball when Stephen LaRue threw it back to him.
Probably got away with it because the hitters are thinking in, and they're surprised when it's out.
So you cut a ball, you keep cutting it in to left-handed hitters. They're very defensive.
Even with the issues he had last year, he still managed to pitch in 61 games and have an ERA of 3.27 in the American League.
He's been very durable.
Missed the last 5 games of the year. They thought that it was a neck problem. As it turned out, he was diagnosed with a syndrome called thoracic outlet syndrome, which eventually led to the surgery. Folks have never really heard of that in the world of baseball. But not only did he have that, but also Chris Carpenter.
Yeah, story in the paper this morning about him.
In the Tampa paper.
Yeah, St. Pete. Yeah, the Tampa Times that he may be finished. He may not be able to pitch again, Chris Carpenter. There you see active career leaders as a relief pitcher, earned run average. This guy's right there. And look at those names that he's with. That's pretty good company.
Including 2 Braves.
Yeah, unfortunately. Kimball and Venters have been mainstays for them the last couple of years. Second guy isn't too bad either.
Second guy's in some games for the Yankees already. Phillies saw him last week when they were in Tampa. He pitched in that game. 1-2 the count to Hafner. And oopie. I was about to say a called strike 3, but Phil Cuzzy didn't think so.
Yeah, it looks like he came trying to backdoor him a little bit here. Well,
pretty close.
Hit his glove.
Now he got him. A fastball swung on and missed. Hafner down on strikes. It's a 1-2-3 7th inning for Mike Adams. He continues to throw scoreless baseball here in the spring. Little movement, extra movement on that fastball as it's tailed away.
Oh, man.
Well, I tell you, Wills, there was some pretty good swings here this afternoon. It's 3-1 Phillies on top as we go to the
That's
ball.
either a shallow booth or a wide lens.
It's a good lens. It's a good lens.
Seriously.
It's a good swing, Wills.
In the back of the booth.
You were technically just right behind Sarge. You weren't
back
all the
here.
Man. On behalf of all of us, thank you very much for doing that. Changes in the outfield. Ben Francisco's in left field for the Yankees. And Melky Mesa is the new center fielder for New York. By the way, by that swing, it looked like that ball went straight.
You saw it yesterday. It did for a long time until the last couple holes.
Ryan Howard leads it off against Josh Spence. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Phillies up 3-1. They scored 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th. New shortstop is Walter Ibarra. And Jose Perella is the new second baseman for the Yankees. Ryan Howard hits one deep to right field. Forget about that one. That was a hanger. It went a long way. Home run number 5 for Ryan Howard this spring. It's a 4-1 ball game.
Yeah, that was a hanger. If there was ever one that was a hanger, that was that baby. Sometimes they can be really hard to hit when they're hanging like that because you can't get on top of it. Oh, he hit that a long way. Got up the breeze a little bit. Here it is. Spinner. Oh, yes. And that was down just enough that he got a great swing at it.
Well, his last time up, we said he just missed the one pitch that he flied out to right field with. He didn't miss that one.
No, that's right on the barrel.
Freddie Galvis is up for the first time for the Phillies. Galvis batting in Dominic Brown's spot. So Brown is homered today, his 6th of the spring. Ryan Howard is homered, his 5th of the spring. And Galvis breaks his bat. Well, who knows what the regular season will bring, but there is a sense of optimism because the big piece is swinging the bat like we remembered from several years ago.
And so Chase Utley is also very healthy, it looks like. And Dominic Brown is a big plus. So certain things you look for at the beginning of the spring, there are some positives.
Lance Nix is 2 for 3. He's doubled. He's also singled. He struck out his last time up. Outside, it's 1-0. Kyle Kendrick had a fantastic day today for the Phils. And to wrap it up, he's going to get a chance to talk to Murph. Murph, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, T-Mac. And they were just talking about what a terrific outing it was for you. And I was just listening to you talk to some of the guys inside. But the best you felt all spring, right?
Yeah, physically, just stuff-wise, going out there, I felt pretty good with everything, all my pitches, and was able to get my pitch count out and stretched out. So that was the main thing, and good results.
68 pitches in the game, but then you went back and threw 20 more in the bullpen. Is the idea maybe next time out to try to get you up to about 100? Is that about right?
I think so. I think the next time, we're all the stars are trying to get stretched out to 100, get our pitches up, innings up, and I believe that's the plan.
We watched it today, and those guys were talking so much about your changeup and the way it was working today. I mean, was that your best pitch today? Do you feel that that's where it needs to be heading into the season?
Yeah, it's come. It's getting there for sure. It feels good right now. Had some good counts to throw it in, some good situations, and got some good results. That was the main thing. It feels good. Definitely feels good.
And not just pitching. You're a complete ball player. A nice play in the field and a base hit today. So you're doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I wanted to show the stars. That's what we're going to do this year. That's where we're at. That's where we need to be.
It's very important for you guys, I know. Kyle, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Guys, back upstairs.
Nice pitch in.
Just wants to show the starters that's where it's at this year.
Complete player.
Lance Nix stays alive. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies lead it 4-1. Kendrick went the first 6, as you saw. Yeah, they've tacked on a run in the 6th inning and a run here in the 7th. Swing and a miss. And there are 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Jermaine Mitchell will bat for the Phillies. Jonathan Papelbon is still warming in the bullpen. So it looks like he'll pitch the 8th inning. The plan was to have Adams pitch after Kendrick, or at least at some point, and Papelbon was on the list too. The Phillies also have Chad Durbin and Raul Valdez who are on the list to pitch. There is an off day tomorrow. Phillies only have a couple of full off days during spring training, and because of that, a couple of the guys will most likely pitch in minor league games just to stay on their regular day. That's important at this point, is to have guys stay on their regular day. Ryan Howard has been on not only his day, but also on his game this entire spring. This is the swing that everybody is looking forward to from Ryan Howard. Home run number 5 this spring has given the Phils a 4-1 lead. Phillies baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And by Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW for an appointment. Phillies have some changes defensively. John Mayberry comes into the ball game to play first base. Now the new right fielder is Ender Inciarte. He's in for Lance Nix. As we go to the top of the 8th inning, they'll dip back into their bullpen. Jonathan Papelbon will come on. Pick up for Mike Adams. Adams went a scoreless 7th inning for the Phillies. After a rocky start to spring training, we wouldn't know it by looking at Pap's numbers, but he has pitched pretty well his last couple of outings. He's been battling a couple illnesses, flu-like symptoms, and I think he had the same thing that Doc had the last time he was scheduled to pitch out here on the big field.
Yeah, he's been fine his last 2 times out, and as Tom said, he's been bothered a little bit with some stomach problems or flu or whatever has been going around a little bit. Get him in the game a little bit later. Most of his outings have been, what, 5th or 6th inning? Here he comes in the 8th today.
And he'll face Brennan Bosch to begin the top of the 8th inning. Bosch is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. First pitch is fouled at the plate. It's 0-1. I know the Phillies have committed 2 errors today, but when you have good solid starting pitching like they had today from Kyle Kendrick, the whole complexion of the game changes.
Well, it looks cleaner.
Sure does.
Especially the way he was getting so many outs early in the count. That's what pitchers want to do. They want to be able to get hitters to make contact and, give a weak contact, preferably, and get outs early. Don't get your pitch count up. Pitch deep into a game, and you can win a lot of games that way.
0-2 the count to Bosch. Chris Stewart's on deck. That one is straight back and right into the booth. Wheels, that time you were eligible to move because it was coming right at you.
Wow.
Yeah. Here it is. Atta boy. You could have caught that one, though, if you really had settled under it. Be careful throwing it down. God, Wheels, throw it down. Make the fans happy. Be careful. Whoa. Oh, nice catch.
That was a lot of flinch on that one, right?
Fly ball, right center field. Well, that one was coming right at you.
Right at us.
And see, Arte makes the catch. I still think, given the situation, you could have caught that ball.
I could have, and why?
Wasn't hit that hard.
So what? Break your finger. It makes a lot of sense.
Speaking of Wheels prowess on the diamond, don't forget the Ryan Howard wiffle ball set. Compliments of IBEW Local 98. Free defense 14 and under will be given out Sunday, April 7th at 1:35 when the Phillies take on the Royals. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Here's Chris Stewart who takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Dangerous in here. On and off the air. That was very agile getting out of the way of that.
You were. I thought the tarp did a nice job catching it, too.
Excellent.
A little low, 1-1 the count.
Didn't have the effect, though, that it normally has when you hear bang when it comes on the booth. Hit the, what do you call it, a tarp?
The backdrop.
Curtain, whatever it is, yeah.
Breaking ball, it's 1-2. Papelbon last year had a solid season for the Phillies. There's no doubt about that. His numbers got better and better in the second half. Darren Ruff out in left field is a long run, but he'll get there. And it makes the catch for the second out. By looking at some of the numbers, all the statistical data that we have, one of the things that jumps out, and I think we noticed this too with the naked eye, Papelbon's numbers got even better in the second half because he started throwing a slider more than just the fastball.
And split. Because that's what we heard he was fastball split guy all those years with a slider. But you're right. And I think we saw some stats the other day that really indicated that he used his slider a lot more.
1 ball and no strikes the count.
And that was Bloomberg Sports came in. They help us a lot with stuff during the season, and even more so this year we're going to get. And they were showing us that the other day, and it made a lot of sense.
Another fly ball out toward left center field this time. Jermaine Mitchell battling the sun. Glasses on, glove off to the side. A 1-2-3 8th inning. All in all, it's been a pretty good day for Phillies pitching. Adams 1-2-3 in the 7th. Now Papelbon 1-2-3 here in the 8th. Three Big Five teams are going to the dance before Temple, Villanova, and LaSalle tip off. LaSalle tip off tonight, by the way. Get in the game with the bracketology of local coaches and experts on Tournament Time, Wednesday night at 9:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Phillies lead it 4-1. Actually, LaSalle is tomorrow. It's the first 4 in Dayton. They have the second night of that bracket. I'm actually heading to Detroit to Auburn Hills for that section of the NCAA tournament, the second and third rounds. Changes for the Yankees. Thomas Neal takes over in right field for New York. And Addison Maruzak is the new third baseman. Bobby Wilson takes over behind the plate, so we have a new battery. And left-hander David Aardsma, or right-handed David Aardsma, excuse me, is on the hill as we begin the bottom of the 8th inning.
And they've had a few lefties out there. Bunch of frisbee throwers.
Stephen LaRue takes outside as we begin the bottom of the 8th.
Well, Sarge, heard Sarge talking about that, and you know, there's a lot of. They're really important for a team. Those left-handers that can go out there and throw that breaking ball and get left-handed hitters out.
Aardsma's numbers this spring: 4.50 ERA. Fly ball out to left field. Ben Francisco, the former Philly, makes the catch for the first out. Chad Durbin looks like he'll pitch the 9th inning after a scoreless 8th by Papelbon, scoreless 7th by Mike Adams.
See, we're getting into the season now as far as spring training goes. That in a game like today, you're using a guy like Kendrick, Kyle, one of the starters, and then you go Adams, Papelbon, and now Durbin, all guys that will be on the ball club. You would think. Yeah. We're not going to choose the club. That's Ruben's job. But you would think.
Aaron Ruff grounded out his first time up. This was the pitcher's spot earlier in the ball game. He'll be followed by Kevin Franzen, who will be up for the first time. We are getting down toward the end, though. You know, you figure the outfield's still unsettled as far as who's going to play where, whether Ruff makes the team or not, where Dominic Brown plays, right field or left field. Utility, there's probably 3 guys for 2 spots that Charlie's dealing with Galvis, or 4 guys for 2 spots: Pete Orr, Yuneski Betancourt, Kevin Franzen.
And the way baseball is nowadays, you know, by July, it'll be a lot different.
So I was talking to Rodrigo Lopez today, and he was optioned out to minor league camp. And, you know, I wished him luck, and I said, I'm sure we're going to see you at some point.
Right.
The way things are in baseball.
Use a lot of players now, the way the DL is used.
There's Freddie Galvis, as we said. You know, he, along with Betancourt, Franzen, Pete Orr, battling for probably 2 utility spots. 3-2 pitch coming to Darren Ruff.
Oh,
in the air down the left field line. If it stays fair, it's gone. It's going to hook foul, though.
He got out front a little bit, but that was really a good swing. He is strong and quick. The pitch kept running in on him, so he couldn't keep it fair, but look how quick he is. I think I threw him a pretty good breaking ball and fooled him early in the count. I wouldn't be surprised they may go 3-2 breaking ball to him after that swing. No.
And a called strike 3.
It's a tough strike.
Well, Phil Cuzzy certainly delayed for a split second before he called it.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a flip a coin.
That is close, but looks like outside.
Yeah, it's close. But it's probably not a strike, but hey, exhibition game. We give Darren Ruff credit, though. He read that as ball 4, and it probably was.
But out 2 away in the 8th inning. Franzen up for the first time. Franzen down the right field line. It's going to slice toward foul territory and out of play. Not a whole lot of room.
Battling that guy out there in the blue shirt with a glove. Thomas Neal, the right fielder. Honey, how come you didn't catch it? Really?
Waiting all day for that.
Give me the glove. I'll get it.
Breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Wilson, the catcher, will give it a peek, but it's back 4 rows. Headed to the crowd. Phillies got a couple home runs today, one by Dominic Brown, the other one by Ryan Howard. There's been some games where they've played very well pitching wise. They've had good outings for their pitchers. They haven't played well defensively. Today they have 2 errors, but they don't really have an impact or an effect on the game at all. I mean, 1 run scored on the 1 error, but that's about it.
I didn't see that play live. Was that one that Kyle should have held on to, or did he have a play at first?
I think he had a play.
Did he?
Oh, yeah. But it had to be the way he played it.
Right.
That was the only way he could do it.
Right.
Chopper over to third.
Oh.
High throw. Franzen safe at first. It's kind of like that one, Wheels.
Yeah.
It should be an error charge to the third baseman, Maruzak.
That guy does everything right until the very end when he throws it wide. Right there, good crow hop, strong throw, high.
And
E5.
Dan Johnson just couldn't stay on the bag. Franzen's up. Pete Orr, the hitter, Orr up for the first time today. Phillies with 4 runs on 10 hits. They've committed 2 errors. The Yankees 1 run on just 2 hits. This is the play on Kendrick, Wills.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Kyle did that play right, and he had a play at first base. He just pulled the string on a little bit, and it tailed.
With Gardner running, the only thing he could do is barehanded
that's right.
and throw off balance.
That was Gardner too, yeah, who can really fly.
They scored a base hit and an E1. See Pete Orr's numbers: 2 home runs, 333 average this spring. Off the end of the bat. Mentioned tomorrow is an off day. It's a camp-wide off day, Major League camp-wide off day. There will be games going on in the backfield. If for some reason you're in the Clearwater area and wondering, well, what am I going to do if the Phillies aren't playing? There is a lot going on in the minor league camp. Swing and a miss, or down on strikes to wrap up the 8th inning. So the Phillies leave one over at first. We go to the top of the 9th inning. It's not time to say goodbye just yet. Phillies with a 4-1 lead over the Yankees. Friday afternoon when the Atlanta Braves come to town to take on the Phillies. That'll be on the Comcast Network. We'll be on the air at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Yesterday, the Phillies took on the Braves up in Orlando, and the ball was just jumping. We'll see what happens this Friday. Phillies have an off day tomorrow, and then on Thursday, they're at Fort Myers. Chad Durbin will pitch the 9th inning for the Phillies. They're up 4-1. And Durbin will face the bottom of the Yankees order, which really isn't the bottom anymore because of all the changes that they've made. Durbin's numbers this spring: no wins, no losses, a 4.50 ERA. And Jose Pirela will lead it off for the Yankees. He'll be followed by Melky Mesa, one of the big prospects for the Yankees, who's in the on-deck circle. 1-0 the count. Line drive caught by Kevin Franzen. That'll wake you up.
Yeah, good reaction play there by Kevin Franzen at third base. There's nothing you can do. It's not you can line it up or anything. This is bang pop. Look at that, how quickly he got down there. Just leaps and makes the play. Here it is. It's like a block punt with a double thump. That thing.
Melky Mesa had a good year last year for the Yankees farm system. It's a guy they expect to be part of their future outfield in some way, shape, or form. Now, whether it's, sometime this year, at some point next year. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Melky Mesa is out of the Dominican Republic. He's 26 years old. He did play in 3 games last year for the Yankees in the big club. This spring he has 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. He's hitting only a .186. He had 23 home runs between AA and AAA in 2012.
I think could be a little bit vulnerable to off-speed stuff.
It's like it.
Big swing, very aggressive. You're not going to take a lot of pitches.
What did Juan Samuel say, Wheels?
That's right. We do not come walking off our island. We come off swinging. That's a great line.
That's to luck to Sammy as he goes for the World Baseball Classic Championship tonight.
Yep.
As the Dominican Republic takes on Puerto Rico. There is rain forecasted for San Francisco tonight, but they think that they'll be able to get the game in. Rain is not supposed to be in the San Francisco area until after 9 Eastern. Little low. 3-2 the count.
The game starting, 5 o'clock out there?
That's a good
I
question.
think I saw 8 o'clock Eastern, so it'll be 5.
It's 5 o'clock, yeah, Pacific.
San Francisco, yeah. Threw one pitch into him. Looks like Chad Durbin and Steven LaRuda trying to stay away from this guy and take advantage of how aggressive he is. Pulling off a little bit. Maybe can't get to the ball away. Get a second out.
Little low. Ball 4. And Melky Mesa draws a 1-out walk. There's Rich Doobie, Phillies pitching coach, just taking a look at some of his notes, writing down which pitch that last one was.
Looks like a changeup.
Doobs has got a spring training media guide with him, making sure he has all the information.
Man is loaded with information.
LaRude going out to talk to Durbin. Wheels, you are correct. It's an 8 Eastern time start, 5 Pacific, between the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. They have faced each other already once, or in this World Baseball Classic. They try to tie him up. It remains 1-2. The day started with the Phillies watching the Yankees jump out to a 1-0 lead in the fourth, and the Phillies scored 2 in the bottom of the fourth inning to tie it and then take the lead.
A couple homers today for them by Ryan Howard, Dominic Brown.
There's a swing and a miss, 2 outs, so 1 out away from finishing off the Yankees here in the ninth inning. The other part of the day started with Roy Halladay meeting with the media, letting them know that whatever stomach flu or virus he's had looks like it's gone. Boy, that had a lot of movement on it, didn't it?
Yeah, it's a big breaking ball. Chad Durbin has a couple breaking balls. He a little tighter one sometimes, a little bit of curveball action like that one. Change up, tries to sink his fastball.
Here's Ben Francisco. It's outside, 1-0. Runner goes, not being held on. And Francisco chops it foul. Ben's had a good spring, 14 ball games. He's trying to get back up into the big leagues to stick. Phillies acquired him from the Indians, and he was kind of an everyday player with the Indians, a little bit with the Phillies. Came out of spring training one year as one of the Phillies' corner outfielders. Lays off, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Off the end of the bat, shallow right center field. Jermaine Mitchell battling the sun. Inciarte is there to put it away, and the Phillies crisply have disposed of the Yankees by a final score of 4-1. It was a good day all the way around for the Phillies on many different fronts. Offensively, they got home runs today from Ryan Howard and Dominic Brown as Dominic continued to swing a good bat. Their pitching was sound all the way through. Kyle Kendrick, 6 innings, 1 unearned run. That was it. And then the bullpen. Adams, Papelbon, and then Chad Durbin. Scoreless baseball through the final 3 innings of today's game. Good crowd, 10,074 on hand to watch this one.
As you say, Tom, good job by the pitchers, and only 1 base runner in those last 3 innings, and that was the 1-out walk to Melky Mesa on a 3-2 count in the 9th inning. So you had 4 guys out there today that will be pitching in big league games for the Phillies this season. That was fun to watch, and only giving up 2 hits too.
It was fun to watch. It was crisp, as we said. And, they do have the 2 errors, but overall, the pitching was the name of the game today. Kendrick, Adams, Papelbon, and Durbin all combined to be able to allow just 2 base hits. 2 base hits this afternoon from the New York Yankees. Final score: the Phillies 4, the Yankees 1. And the guy who caught all those pitchers today and also had a base hit to give the Phils the lead for good, Stephen LaRue, is down with Greg Murphy.
All right, thank you very much, T-Mac. And yeah, when you have good pitching, that means you're also getting good catching. So we're talking to Stephen LaRue. And first of all, let's talk a little bit about the offensively. You had a base hit today, the RBI, and a run scored as well. So, I know you don't get a lot of opportunity to get in and catch all 9 innings in the spring, but certainly you made the most of it.
Yeah, I just want to make the most of my opportunity, obviously. I know that I'm here for defensive purposes first, and I'm well aware of that, but whatever I can do with the bat is obviously a plus. So
You made an impression last year defensively, as you talked about when you came up, at the end of last year, and you certainly continue to do that in the spring. When you approach a spring like this, is that what you're thinking? If I'm going to make this team, it's going to be because of my glove behind the plate?
Absolutely. That's the reason that I made it to the big leagues last year in the first place. So I don't take the defensive part of it for granted by any means. I know that that's what has kind of been my calling card throughout my career, and that's what's going to keep me in this game. So whatever I can do out there behind the plate is always priority for me.
It's so important to learn the pitchers as you're going through spring, and you got a chance to see 4 guys that are going to be on the roster most likely when they head north. Tell us a little bit about what was so effective for Kyle today.
Obviously his sinker was really good today. His changeup is obviously he was unbelievable. His command, he was in the zone the whole time. He got his cutter working second time through the order there, and he really kept him off balance and missed barrels. So that's kind of what he does, and it was a lot of fun to be back there for him.
And a nice chance to see some guys that are going to be in the back end of this bullpen as well. We keeping our eyes obviously on Mike Adams and John Papelbon and Chad Durbin. All of them real effective today.
Absolutely. They were pounding the zone, and they were getting right after guys, and we had a lead that they were able to hang on to for us, and hopefully that's what they can do during the season too.
All right, Steve, appreciate your time. Stephen LaRue, guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. The Phillies win it by a final score of 4-1. They get 10 base hits today, but probably more important than anything else, they got some great pitching this afternoon. We'll be back right after this.